The .45 ACP has earned its place as one of the most trusted and powerful pistol cartridges in history, with over a century of use behind it. Known for its immense stopping power, this round has been the ammunition of choice for the iconic 1911 pistol, a firearm that has seen action in wars, police departments, and among civilians who appreciate its reliability. While most gun enthusiasts are familiar with the basics of the .45 ACP, there's much more to this round than meets the eye. Its history is filled with surprises. Its performance has been pushed beyond expectations, and the firearms chambered for it often defy what you might expect. There are forgotten guns that once fired the .45 ACP, odd modifications that altered its use, and even some attempts by manufacturers to reinvent the cartridge, many of which fell short. In this deep dive, we'll explore the origins of the .45 ACP, its most surprising adaptations, and the aspects most shooters are unaware of. If you think you're already an expert on this legendary round, keep watching, because there's likely something new you'll learn. The .45 ACP was born out of necessity during the Philippine-American War, when American soldiers discovered that their standard .38 long Colt revolvers lacked the stopping power needed to take down the fierce Moro warriors. The warriors, known for their fearlessness in battle tactics, proved too much for the underpowered .38 revolvers. This deficiency led to the development of a more powerful cartridge, which ultimately resulted in the adoption of the M1911 pistol in 1911. This pivotal moment revolutionized American sidearms forever. Fast forward to World War II, when the U.S. again supplied Filipino fighters with .45 ACP pistols to use against Japanese forces. It must have felt fitting to provide them with the very cartridge that had been developed for the region's earlier battles, giving the Filipino guerrillas a powerful tool for resistance. By this time, the .45 ACP had already gained a reputation for its ability to stop threats quickly, especially at close range. If you're curious as to why so many people still swear by the .45, this early history explains a lot about its lasting appeal. To this day, many gun owners prefer the .45 ACP over smaller calibers, valuing its proven legacy of stopping power. Whether in the trenches of war, the jungles of Southeast Asia, or the streets of modern cities, the .45 ACP has consistently proven itself as a reliable and potent choice for self-defense and combat. You might be surprised to learn that the .45 ACP almost became a dedicated revolver cartridge. During World War I, the U.S. military faced a shortage of M1911 pistols to meet the demand. As a result, the Army reached out to Colt and Smith & Wesson to adapt some of their large frame revolvers to chamber .45 ACP rounds. This led to the creation of the M1917 revolvers, which carved out their own unique place in history. The issue, however, was that the .45 ACP is a rimless cartridge, and revolvers traditionally rely on rimmed cartridges for proper head spacing and extraction. The solution came in the form of half-moon clips, small metal devices that held 3 rounds each, allowing the .45 ACP to fit securely in the revolver's cylinder and be ejected together. Joseph Wesson of Smith & Wesson invented the half-moon clip and generously allowed Colt to use the idea for free, enabling both companies to quickly deliver the guns to the front lines. The M1917 revolvers served in multiple conflicts, including World War I, World War II, and the Korean War, even seeing action with tunnel rats in Vietnam. These large revolvers were renowned for their rugged construction and their ability to handle the powerful .45 ACP cartridge. While Colt and Smith & Wesson fans each had their preferences, both revolvers proved effective in battle. Later, the .45 auto rim cartridge was introduced, featuring a proper rim, so shooters no longer needed to use half-moon clips. Long after the wars, surplus M1917 and .45 auto rim ammunition found their way into civilian hands, and some people still enjoy shooting these historic revolvers today. There are some shooters who claim that the .45 ACP has a punishing recoil, but the truth is more complex. While it does have more recoil than a 9mm, many shooters find it manageable. One key factor is that the 45 ACP typically operates at lower pressure and velocity compared to rounds like the 10mm or 357 Magnum. A standard 45 ACP load will push a 230 grains bullet at around 830 feet per second, while a 10mm round can send a 180 grain bullet over 1200 feet per second. The higher speed of these hotter rounds often results in sharper recoil. Gun design plays a significant role as well. Features like a lower bore axis can reduce muzzle flip, and a heavier frame helps absorb some of the recoil energy. For example, the classic 1911's weight is enough to significantly lessen the recoil. Stance and grip are also important. Leaning forward and locking your wrists can make a big difference in managing recoil. Ultimately, recoil is a personal experience. What may be uncomfortable for one shooter could barely register for another, especially for those used to larger calibers. If you've never tried it, you might be surprised by how manageable the recoil can feel in the right pistol. You might also assume that the 45 ACP has remained static in terms of performance, but there have been several higher pressure variants designed to enhance its power. The 45 Super maintains the same dimensions as the standard 45 ACP, but uses stronger brass and higher pressures for increased velocity. The 460 Roland lengthens the case and rivals certain Magnum revolvers in terms of raw power. Glock introduced the 45 Gap, which shortens the case to fit more compact frames, while the 45 Detonix Magnum stretches the case and further increases the pressure. These specialized versions demonstrate just how versatile the 45 ACP design can be, with options available for those seeking more speed or a more compact platform. While these variants didn't all become mainstream, they showcase the adaptability of the 45 ACP to handle a wide range of power levels. Whether you're looking for something with Magnum-like power or a smaller, easier-to-carry option, there's a hotter 45 variant that might just fit the bill. In 2003, Glock teamed up with Speer to develop the 45 Glock automatic pistol, aiming to replicate the performance of the 45 ACP in a shorter cartridge. The goal was to make the 45 caliber round more accessible to shooters with smaller hands by reducing the grip size to match Glock's 9mm and 40 models. This innovation provided a more ergonomic option without sacrificing the powerful stopping power of the 45. Some law enforcement agencies initially adopted it, believing the 45 Gap struck the perfect balance between power and ergonomics. However, the excitement surrounding the cartridge faded as issues with ammo availability, cost, and the growth of more streamlined 45 ACP frames emerged. Over time, many agencies returned to more common calibers, and while 45 Gap is still found in select circles, it has remained a niche cartridge rather than a mainstream one. This highlights the fact that older, more established cartridges, like the 45 ACP, continue to dominate, largely due to their familiarity and the comfort shooters have with them. The 45 ACP is also well known for its role in the iconic Thompson submachine gun, or Tommy gun. John T. Thompson originally designed the gun during World War I, intending it to be a trench broom, capable of delivering a powerful punch in close-quarter battles. When chambered in 45 ACP, the Tommy gun became famous for its stopping power, and it gained further notoriety during Prohibition, when gangsters used it in their criminal activities, and later in World War II. However, the Thompson gun was costly and heavy, prompting the military to seek out cheaper alternatives. This led to the development of the M3 grease gun, another submachine gun chambered in 45 ACP. The M3 had a simpler design, lower production costs, and a slower rate of fire, making it well suited for troops, especially in the tight confines of tanks and vehicles. Several other submachine guns have relied on the 45 ACP for its heavy impact. The MAC-10, introduced in the 1970s, was known for its compact design and fast rate of fire. More recently, the Chris Vector revolutionized the submachine gun design with its innovative recoil system, which channels the recoil downward to help shooters maintain accuracy during rapid fire. These firearms, powered by the 45 ACP, are renowned for their ability to deliver significant impact in close-range engagements. Whether in the hands of gangsters or soldiers, these 45 caliber subguns have left a lasting legacy in firearm history and remain popular among gun enthusiasts today. For those who enjoy handloading, the 45 ACP is a favorite among reloaders. Its low operating pressure allows for multiple reloads of brass before it becomes unreliable. The straight-walled, rimless design makes resizing easier, and the round feeds smoothly in semi-automatics. Another advantage is the variety of bullet weights available, ranging from light 155-grain projectiles to the traditional 230-grain bullets. This versatility makes it ideal for crafting a range of loads, whether for practice, target shooting, or self-defense. Additionally, many factory 45 ACP loads keep the 230-grain bullet under the speed of sound, which reduces the loud crack when shooting suppressed. This combination of flexibility and subsonic performance makes the 45 ACP a great option for reloading enthusiasts, offering countless opportunities to experiment with different powder charges, bullet weights, and recoil characteristics. Once you start reloading for the 45, you may find yourself drawn into the endless possibilities this cartridge offers. During the Vietnam War, the tunnel rats had one of the most daunting and dangerous jobs imaginable. These soldiers navigated narrow, booby-trapped tunnels used by the Viet Cong, never knowing what danger lay ahead. Many carried the M1911 45, the standard-issue firearm, but using such a powerful round in the confined spaces of these tunnels came with its own set of challenges. The loud bang of the 45, combined with the blinding muzzle flash, could leave a tunnel rat disoriented, with their ears ringing and their night vision destroyed. As a result, some soldiers turned to suppressed 38, special revolvers, or suppressed 22 pistols. These alternatives helped to keep the noise and flash to a minimum, which made staying oriented in the dark, claustrophobic tunnels much easier. While the 45 ACP was still a popular choice for many, others, depending on availability and preference, opted for knives, relying on stealth and close quarters combat to survive in that brutal, no margin for error environment. You might not know that the 45 ACP also comes in a shotshell variety, often referred to as rat shot or snake shot. Designed for small pests like rodents or snakes, these rounds contain small lead pellets inside a plastic capsule that bursts upon firing. This spreads the shot over a wider area, making it more effective against small targets while minimizing the risk of ricochet. Since these shot shells have a very short effective range and low penetration, they're ideal for confined spaces like barns or sheds, reducing the risk of damage or injury to bystanders. However, it's worth noting that not all semi-automatic pistols cycle shot shells reliably, so it's essential to test them first. While they aren't a replacement for your standard defensive ammo, they're a unique option for specific situations. This variant demonstrates the 45 ACP's versatility, proving it's not just for handguns or submachine guns, but can tackle specialized tasks too. The 45 ACP isn't just limited to handguns and submachine guns. It's been chambered in rifles and carbines as well. A notable example is the Marlin Camp Carbine, produced from the mid-1980s to the late 1990s. Available in both 9mm and 45 ACP, the latter option was particularly appealing because it could use standard 1911 magazines. The Camp Carbine was a simple blowback design with a short barrel, making it a great option for plinking or as a utility gun. Enthusiasts even took it a step further by customizing other firearms, like the Marlin 1894 lever-action rifle, to chamber 45 ACP. This process isn't for the faint of heart, as it requires rechambering the barrel and modifying the action to handle rimless cartridges. But it showcases how adaptable the 45 ACP is across different platforms. If you want the mild recoil and affordability of a pistol round in a more stable, accurate rifle, a 45 ACP carbine is an interesting and less common choice. If you ever come across one at a gun shop or show, It's worth checking out for the sheer novelty. And there you have it. The 45 ACP has traveled a long way, powering some of the most iconic firearms in history, from the 1911 to the Tommy gun, and even a handful of surprising rifles. Some versions have pushed the power to magnum levels, while others have attempted to make it more compact. If you've got any unique facts about this cartridge, feel free to share them in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. We'll see you next time.